After reading Orange is the New Black by Piper Kerman and visiting the Wyoming Women's Center in Lusk, Wyoming, we learned that there are very many similarities and differences in social justice concerns. In terms of overcrowding, Piper states that she does not find an issue with cell space, but when it comes to gatherings and activities, there was a slight concern of overpopulation. She felt like she had to spend a lot of time in her cell because that's where she wasn't disturbed. She could read, write, and sleep without having to worry about bumping elbows with another inmate.
In Lusk, many women said that they were lucky that they only had one other roommate. The women said that overcrowding wasn't an issue.
In some prisons, violence contributes to many controversies. In Orange is the New Black, she explains that although she never felt threatened, there were multiple opportunities where others showed intimidation. For example, at the beginning of Piper's 15-month sentence, she accidentally badmouths Pop's cooking. She's threatened, but later shows her loyalty to the chef.
Being strategic about your clique choices turns out to be a viable plan for surviving prison. In Lusk, the prisoners stated that prison is a lot like high school but worse. Women are catty, so verbal violence is prevalent, but fights are rare. If an issue occurs, the women involved lose their privileges, and many think it's not worth it.
Health provisions in everyday society continue to improve, but in the prison world, health concerns and other health policies remain stagnant. Piper presents Crazy Eyes as a down-to-earth woman with some psychological issues. Dan Barry ignores these issues, but Piper finds it both interesting and concerning. She explains that all the doctors working at Danbury either didn't have a clue or didn't care about the inmates other than the gynecologist.
At the Wyoming Women's Center, there were far more options for the mentally ill. The Prison Community Partnership Committee is offered to both non-mental health patients and mentally ill patients to contribute provisions that will help better policies associated with these issues. Another option offered for troubled prisoners is the Wyoming State Penitentiary Complex in the high-security special needs prison. Both can be used to transport the incarcerated to a better facility that can accommodate to their needs.
In contrast, health provisions continue to advance. In both Danbury and the Women's Center, there are structured physical health maintenance classes like yoga with Jeanette and Darla.
Exercise classes are planned and run by inmates, and many said it's a nice break from work and day-to-day prison life.
Rehab for many is difficult and relapse rate can be high. Once prison is added, addiction treatment is a struggle and some find themselves incarcerated again. Piper demonstrates this by explaining what going down the hill means. When the women were almost done with their sentence, they were sent down the hill to the drug treatment program.
Although it is a type of rehabilitation for inmates, many felt as if there was no transition period and many ended up back in prison. Similarly, the Lusk women felt that there was no help offered. Drug addicts usually ended up back in prison regardless, by either violating their probation or using again.
Human dignity and the rights of prisoners continues to be debated. Piper felt violated when being strip-searched and when she had to squat and cough after self-surrendering.
In Lusk, almost all the women said that some correctional officers treated them as if they were normal people, and some treated them like animals. But regardless of the perception of the officers, the women still felt like they were treated as if they were below them. Although the American prison system still needs some work, many laws, prisoners, and citizens are trying to transform the facilities into high-functioning rehabilitation centers. Some social justice concerns include overcrowding, safety of inmates and correctional officers, mental health and physical health, substance addiction treatment, and human dignity. After visiting Lusk and reading Orange is the New Black, we are more educated and concerned about the issues with prisons today.